Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we're going to be doing these nails today. They are Gel X extensions with white French tip with a iridescent powder over the top. So we'll get through how to do that. So it's kind of like isolated so it doesn't stick to the whole nail. It just will stick to the French. So my client does have quite wide nails. They're very, very curved, which is a good thing, but then it's also not really the best when it comes to doing Gel X extensions. So you have to have use really big tips. But anyway, I've pushed back her cuticles and now I'm going in with my fine cuticle drill bit. I always go down the left hand side first, and then I do every single nail down the left hand side, and then I go down the right hand side of the nail afterwards on every nail. So she's not used to she's never ever had extensions before. She does like rock climbing and things like that, but she's going on holiday, so I think she's going to like Norway, so she wanted she did give me an inspiration photo, so we did that. We were going to put some little beads on the nails, but because they're kind of like 3D, they're big, so they were tiny beads, but she said that with them being high and not completely flat, she'll end up picking them off, so we decided not to do that. So yeah, I'm just doing all the cuticle work. She doesn't have a lot of cuticles to cut, so I don't cut them. She normally does have a gel polish, but she wanted extensions for her holiday. And then once I've done all this cuticle work, I do go in with my sanding band. So it is a mini fine 240 grit sanding band, and I go all over the natural nails with that as well. So I'll let you watch and I'll be back in a moment. So I've finished prepping the nails with the drill bit, and now I'm going in with Model 1's Dehydrator, and I use the Model 1's primer as well, which you can get off of Amazon. Absolutely love this stuff. Their primer is like nice and sticky, that's why I like it. Look at that nail prep. You know when you've done good nail prep if the dehydrator does what it's supposed to do, dehydrates. So I'm just putting on the primer, so that one is done, and then I size up her nails using the full cover gel nail tips. So you don't want to be using plastic for things like this because they're just going to crack. So yeah, I size up everything. As you can see, she's got quite curved and quite wide nail beds. So I did have to use like a number 2 on her middle finger, and then like a number 4 I think on this one. She does have quite big nails, I would say, and well, not big but wide. And then I used my biggest one, which was a number 0 for her thumb, which luckily fitted perfectly. But it doesn't matter if it didn't. I would have just put it further down the nail and then would have filled in the rest with builder gel. So these don't come pre-etched. So I always pre-etch the inside because it does help give more adhesion to the natural nail. So I always use my drill bit. I've already done that off camera. I just etch them on the inside. If you haven't got like an electric drill, just use a little skinny file and just scratch it up on the inside. It works a treat. So I'm using Model 1's nail glue gel, which is for extensions. This is like my go-to. Absolutely love it. It really, really is so good. So you only need a tiny bit as well. It's just got to go past the free edge of the natural nail, because if you don't have enough on there and it goes, I don't know, just before the natural nail, you are going to get like water inside there. So you want to make sure you've got enough on there just to get past that natural nail. So I always go like a 45-degree angle. So I put it near the cuticle and then I bring it down. Hopefully you'll see a little bit better on the ring finger, and because it's hard to explain. You don't just want to put it straight on, you kind of want to hold it on an angle and then slowly push it down kind of thing, because that will help any air bubbles come out as well. You don't want to be getting air bubbles in there. And then once I've done all this, I use my e-file, my electric drill, whatever you want to call it. So I use my e-file and I use a fine drill bit to go around the cuticle just to seal everything in. And then I also use a little bit of acetone on a lint-free wipe to go around the cuticle afterwards, just to kind of melt that tip slightly. So it's like nicely blended. I hope all that makes sense, but I will let you watch this for a sec and then I'll come back. So that's been fully cured in the lamp. I have done all the cuticle work with the fine drill bit. When you're doing the cuticle work with a fine drill bit, just pull the skin back slightly just so you don't catch them. Again, you do the same when you're filing down the sides of the nail. As you can see, I'm pulling back with my thumb, and then I use my other finger when I'm doing the other side. So I'm just shaping them up slightly. So these are almond, which is what she wanted anyway, but I always shape up the tips a little bit more, just right on the tip. And then I go in with a lint-free wipe, bit of acetone, and I'm just melting that tip slightly. So I had to keep moving this about, because my client kind of had her arm a bit too far forward. So I do keep moving the camera, trying to get it in the right angle. So I'm sorry about that. But yeah, as you can see, all done and dusted. So now I'm going in with some build gel. So when I'm doing this, I'm just doing it to give that tip a bit more strength. So I'm not building anything like you normally would with Biab or Builder. I'm just putting it over like a slip layer kind of thing, like you would when you're doing Builder gel or, you know, Biab. You always do a slip layer first. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm not building anything up with like a bead or anything. And then I cure that for 60 seconds because Builder gel is quite thick. And then I'm going in with this gorgeous pink kind of colour. So I keep forgetting to tell you what colours these are, but it's because they come in like big bundles. So unless I leave it linked of the whole kit in case you want the whole kit, that might be easier. But this colour is just stunning, but it is quite sheer. So I do 3 coats. I do 2 decent coats, and then the third one, because I don't want the nail to be any more thicker than it needs to be, with my client having quite wide nails already. So the third layer I do a little bit thinner. So all 3 coats have been all done. They've been cured in between each coat. And now I'm just going in with a glossy top coat. And then I cure that for around 30 to 40 seconds. It doesn't need to be like fully cured. So I cure that for 30 to 40 seconds, and then I wipe over with acetone, and then I buff the whole nail. It is the same process that I do as isolated chrome. So those have all been cured. That top coat's been cured. So as you can see, I'm wiping over with acetone. This is a no wipe top coat, by the way. And then I'm buffing that shine away. And this is what stops any kind of pigment powder or, iridescent powder, chrome powder, anything like that, that stops that from sticking to the rest of the nail. So you want to get rid of like any shiny bits. I don't mind leaving shiny bits that are near the cuticle, because this is just going around the French tip, so I know I'm not going to get any dust around there anyway. So get rid of all that dust. And then I'm going in with my Macart white gel polish. Love this gel polish. It is white, which is what I wanted. And I'm using my Casey Payne 15mm liner brush. She has this on, like, you can get it from type her in on the internet. She has her own website, but she also has items on TikTok as well. I use this liner brush for everything. Absolutely love it. I don't use any of my other ones. I don't think I've actually really used a different, actually I haven't used a different brush for about 6 months. I've just stuck to this one because I love it so much. Yeah, so every single nail is having a French tip on, and then I cure that for 60 seconds. Just because white's pigmented, you want to make sure it's fully cured. So yeah, cure that for 60 seconds, and then I use my iridescent powder with I think it's like an eyeshadow applicator. Dab that in there and then rub it all over the white. We can rub it all over the nail, but it will only stick to the white because we've buffed the underneath, if that makes sense. We've already done like that prep to stop it sticking anywhere else. Yeah, so I'll let you watch this part and I'll be back. So that's all been done. I've dusted it off as well, any excess. And then I am going in with a no wipe shiny top coat. I always forget what this top coat is. I will leave it linked though, because I've not long bought it. My favourite top coat of like ever. I love it. It stays so shiny. Like, I tried Glitterbell's top coat, but I did not like that at all. I don't like it, and it smells weird as well. Whether I just had a bad one, I don't know, because I do like the rest of their gel polishes. It was just the top coat. So I cure this in my big LED light. I use Kirsty Meakin light, absolutely love it. So I have a hell of a lot of ring lights around me, for my recording and things like that. So this, like, what's it called? French tip kind of iridescent design really does stand out in person. obviously when you tilt the nails and things like that, but for some reason it was coming up on camera like not noticeable, but it really is. It's like a greeny kind of bluey tinge. We did try like a pinky one, but because her nails were already pink, I was kind of like, oh, I don't think it's gonna go, and it didn't. It just didn't look right. So I persuaded her to change it. So this is the finished result. I was trying my hardest to get like the actual colour. So I was like turning my ring light down, I was turning my camera light down, all sorts. So it is really iridescent-y, but obviously this is with like dark mode on. But let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next video.